The long-simmering tension between Jay-Z and 50 Cent is boiling back to the surface, and this time, 50 isn't holding anything back. He's reopening old wounds, revisiting the power plays, silent standoffs, and industry chess moves that defined one of hip-hop's most influential rivalries. According to 50, fear and politics kept many people on the sidelines when their clash was at its peak, and now he's naming the moments and the figures he believes felt Jay-Z's reach behind the scenes. The revelations have reignited conversation across the culture, reminding fans that this wasn't just a beef. It was a battle that reshaped alliances, careers, and the very power structure of hip-hop for decades.
I remember one time walking in the studio, Bleak Beans, everybody was in there, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now, just flood it, put out a lot of music, because 50 Cent is coming. And, you know, 4 months later, in the club hit, and it was over. And it was just like, okay, now everybody got to sit on the sidelines and wait this tidal wave out.
There's a huge difference in energy internationally in 50 Cent and Jay-Z. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records sold 5 million. They let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there. Because America can be purchased. You can buy it with marketing dollars. You see what I'm saying? But the rest of the world, there's not enough marketing dollars to go around.
That's why I made a statement about Taylor Swift.
I wish you would come take one of my awards so I could black his eye in front of everybody.
And Jay disagrees.
I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
Does that bother you? Does it bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me. It's just his choice.
Why would you have to make that clear when no one's ever asked me if I'm afraid of Jay-Z?
The public is responding to his punk presentation. It's not 50 Cent. I don't have a problem with him. Kanye would not take a trophy from me. Neither Jay-Z.
Right.
Neither one of them.
What would you have
for years? Industry whispers have swirled around what really happened behind the scenes when 50 Cent was added to the Super Bowl halftime show. Some insiders claim Jay-Z wasn't fully sold on the idea until Eminem stepped in and personally insisted that 50 had to be there. Whether the story has grown in the retelling or reflects real tension at the top, it's kept fans debating the true power dynamics between hip-hop's biggest figures. To many, the rumor only confirms what they've always believed. Eminem has never wavered when it comes to 50 Cent. From launching his rise to standing firm decades later, that loyalty has become legendary, and it continues to shape how the culture sees their bond today.
You couldn't sell more records than Jay-Z. But all you had to do was listen to Benny Siegel, and Benny Siegel was, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, he said that. That was the first of me actually hearing it. Like, oh shit. Like, I used to have questions like why every time my album dropped, Jay would drop right on top. He wouldn't let me breathe or right before me. Like, I was always close, and always thought like, damn, if a kid, back then it was physical copies. So if you had $20, $20 that you saved up and you was going to buy an album, and it's under the same house, Rockefeller, between Jay and BC, 9 times out of 10 you won't buy the Jay-Z album. I never understood that every single album that I dropped, Jay dropped right on top. And it was like, damn, like that in-house competition at that magnitude was crazy. Jay already the boss, but I always thought that, like, let me breathe. But to maliciously plot to hold me back, I don't know, man. I don't believe that. I don't want to believe that. I mean, but like I said,
despite reaching the highest levels of success, 50 Cent is often praised for never abandoning the people who came up with him. Artists like Tony Yayo consistently describe him as a true rap legend, someone still grounded, accessible, and willing to lift others as they rise. In contrast, many fans see Jay-Z as more removed, carrying a larger-than-life presence that places him above the everyday grind of the culture. That difference in perception draws a sharp line between the two icons, revealing not just how much they've achieved, but how differently they choose to stay connected or disconnected from the next generation community.
Big homie Jay-Z, right? I said to my nephew, I said, yo, listen, I have to ask him this straight up. So I said, yo, who is the people that's on NFL? And he said to me, and I'm sorry for anybody who don't understand. And he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. And he said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
that's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
But that's his guy.
That was beautiful.
And guess who's Dre's guy?
Your guy.
Jay-Z has long been viewed as a master strategist, with critics arguing that nearly every move he makes is carefully calculated to expand his power and influence. Supporters push back, insisting his dominance is the result of raw talent, discipline, and relentless consistency. Still, over the years, industry voices, including 50 Cent, have questioned the perfectly polished image surrounding his partnership with Beyoncé, suggesting it may be as much a strategic alliance as a romantic one. While fans celebrate them as one of music's ultimate power couples, Jay-Z's commanding presence at events like the Grammys continues to fuel debate about how deliberately he curates his legacy and how fiercely he protects his untouchable position at the top of the industry.
But you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and you know, Jay got to remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, you know, Diddy, but all that crazy going on. But, you know, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys with the most money and the most influence. So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay. So I think people are just going to say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you know, you got to remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy. I'm like,
wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl?
Know that? Yeah, he didn't want.
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some hate. Yeah,
I remember Eminem was like, I'm not going to do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted him there. I don't know
because of what some of the.
I mean, you know, it's competition. You got to think. 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1. What the 50 Cent?
That was a long time ago.
That was what 9. What was that? 9?
But after that, they did a song together. Remember the whole.
Of course, but 50 was always competition for. Then remember Jay said, yo, 50's coming. He told Siegel and them, and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You got to remember, he came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came, and people might G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody has had the effect that we had.
20, y'all. Yeah. And it's different than when it was 2016. You know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a Black Billionaires Lunch. Yeah. You understand?
Right.
And we here together and we're going to keep staying together. We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand. And ain't nothing else to us. Black excellence. Right.
New lawsuit coming with Jay. The part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like
to us. Black excellence.
That had to be there.
We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand. And ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's a billionaire brunch.
Oh,
like,
I hate you, man.
Unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm going to be with you this year. Come on,
For
bro.
years, speculation surrounding Jay-Z and Beyoncé's relationship has fueled nonstop debate, with fans and critics questioning whether their union is driven as much by strategy as it is by love. Some believe their partnership amplified both careers into untouchable global dominance, while loyal supporters insist their bond is real, deep, and unbreakable. Tabloids and online chatter have also floated questions about Jay-Z's loyalty, though none of those claims have ever been proven. Similar rumors have followed the early rise of artists like Rihanna, reigniting conversations about power, influence, and how industry dynamics shape emerging careers. While much of this remains unverified, it continues to feed the mythology surrounding entertainment's most powerful figures, where perception often becomes just as powerful as reality itself.
When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies. Trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
You're gonna let him say that? Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He had like 20 now.
Oh, Lord.
He had like 18 since he's been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one. He got them shits. He's like drinking. His picture with him. Thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
His career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see that the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing. Right. They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them.
Why are you so on top of the business side of Jay-Z? You know what I'm saying? Some people like to just be an artist.
Yeah, I was actually forced to be an artist and a businessman because when I tried to get a deal, I couldn't get a deal, so I had to create Rockefeller Records. We actually created Rockefeller Records from nothing. And, so I was forced to know both sides of it.
Jay-Z first made national headlines early in his career after being linked to a high-profile altercation involving music executive Lance Rivera at New York's Kit Kat Club, an incident that sent shockwaves through the industry and media alike. Rather than letting it derail his rise, Jay-Z took responsibility through a plea, transforming what could have been a career-ending scandal into a defining turning point. Years later, that moment is still revisited as a reminder of the controversies, pressure, and resilience that shaped his early journey and helped forge one of the most powerful figures hip-hop has ever produced.
Diva Rihanna. She's from Barbados?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, she's Bayesian. How did you come in contact with her? I mean, did you fly over there?
No, Jay Brown had actually bought me the song. She has a song right now, and it's I wouldn't say massive because of her roots, but she has this outrageous song called Upon the Replay. And he played that song for me, and I was scared. I was like, that song is too big for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, a new artist, when a song is that big, it's it's hard to come back from. And I don't sign songs, I sign artists.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Why don't you break down the difference between that? Because the viewing public might not understand that.
Some people chase the hot song for a minute, and then they sign, based on the song. I want to sign it based on an artist, based on or based on the swagger, based on the level of talent, based on the writing, so I was a little reluctant when I first heard the song, and then, he kept going, Jay Brown, he kept being persistent. I was like, bring her by. And when she walked into our office, I was like, she just had, it was just something about her. It was just, she had this, it was just something about it. And then she performed the song, and I was like, okay. Then, we sat down and we talked, and they were talking about how she would stay in the studio and try to get the verse over, and then come back the next day. I was like, oh, work ethic, everything is there. So we signed it that night. We didn't let her leave the office.
Really?
The 3 a.m. was when that contract got signed. So from the meeting around 3, 4 in the afternoon, we signed it by 3 a.m. Wow. That day, I was absolutely certain.
But Jaguar has been warning us about Jay-Z. Jay-Z has now had an official lawsuit. It's everywhere. It's now being talked about louder than ever. I guess, does that give you some peace to know that people are finally really questioning this man?
It's emboldening me. I spoke on Pierce Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Pierce Morgan.
Is Beyonce celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's very... she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry.
Well,
what I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
She knows. She knows. Traffic to Def Jam.
She was an innocent baby when she came over here. And look at her now.
14 going on 15 years old. Flown over without parental supervision in a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room. Auditioning at 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference room alone with Sean Carter for nearly 6 hours alone with no parental supervision. Her father collected a $500,000 check. She has the fastest inked deal in Def
Over the
Jam.
years, Jay-Z has openly admitted to past mistakes in his marriage to Beyonce, a level of transparency that reignited public fascination with their private world. That curiosity exploded after the infamous 2014 Met Gala after-party elevator footage surfaced, showing Solange confronting Jay-Z, while Beyonce stood silently composed beside them. The brief but explosive moment sent the internet into overdrive, sparking endless debate about their family dynamics and what could have unfolded behind closed doors. Even now, the incident remains one of the most dissected moments in pop culture, proof of how a few seconds can reshape a global narrative.
He turned himself in tonight, and the cops started working on his rap sheet, accusing him of a stabbing at a trendy party.
Kimberly Richardson is at Midtown South right now. Kimberly.
Well, Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stabbing fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last night. But just a few moments ago, Carter's attorney had this to say.
He's not involved in this, period.
He was at the club?
That's my only comment. He wasn't involved in this.
So it was someone else that did the stabbing and the hitting?
I didn't say that. I said he was not involved in it.
Now, Slovis goes on to say that at no time was Jay-Z hiding from the police, that they were in touch with cops all day and that they're trying to resolve this as gentlemen. But as Mike Sheehan shows us, others say they've seen the dark side of Jay-Z.
Years, fans and industry insiders alike have dissected the layered dynamics of Jay-Z and Beyonce's relationship, especially as their careers and personal lives remain constantly in the public eye. Persistent rumors involving other major artists have only fueled the speculation, while Beyonce's calm, unshakable composure amid the noise has added another layer of mystery. For many observers, it raises an enduring question: is their bond rooted in pure loyalty, strategic alignment, or a carefully balanced mix of both? Whatever the truth may be, one thing is undeniable. The world remains endlessly captivated by one of music's most powerful and enigmatic couples.
Difficult to say, I'm going to talk about the problems in our marriage. I'm going to talk about how we almost lost things. And for her to say, I'm going to talk about my pain and anger at you. What were those conversations like?
Again, it didn't happen in that way. It happened, we were using our art almost like a therapy session, and we started making music together.
Mm-hmm.
And then the music she was making at that time was further along, so her album came out as opposed to the joint album that we were working on. We still have a lot of that music. And this is what it became. There was never a point where it was like, I'm making this album. I was there.
Right.
I was right there the entire time.
And what was her reaction to your work, and what was your reaction to hers? They must have caused, I think, they were pain both, for each of you, right?
Of course. And it both very, very uncomfortable, but sitting in that, the best place in a hurricane is like in the middle of it.
Yeah.
We were sitting in the eye of that hurricane. Maybe not use hurricane because so many people are being affected right now, but the best place is right in the middle of the pain.
Right.
And that's where we were sitting, and it was uncomfortable. And we had a lot of conversations, and really proud of the music she made, and she was really proud of the art I released. And, at the end of the day, we really have a healthy respect for one another's craft. I think she's amazing.
Right.
Most people walk away and like divorce rate is like 50% or something because most people can't see themselves. The hardest thing is seeing pain on someone's face that you caused and then have to deal with yourself.
Yeah.
So most people don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You don't want to look inside yourself. Yeah. And so you walk away. It's my soulmate. It's the person I love, and you can be in love with someone. You can love someone and you're not. And if you haven't experienced love and you don't understand it and you don't have the tools to move forward, then you're going to have complications, period. And if you can either address it or you can pretend until it blows up at some point. And, for us, we chose to fight for our love, for our family, to give our kids a different outcome. You see, to break that cycle. For Black men and women. To see a different outcome, like you were saying. It's not this celebrity couple. We were never a celebrity couple. We were a couple who just happened
surrounding Jay-Z's personal life continue to resurface, often linking him to other high-profile figures and igniting heated debate across media and social platforms. For fans and industry insiders alike, these stories underscore how extreme fame magnifies every move, turning even the most private moments into public spectacle. They keep fueling larger conversations about power, influence, and the razor-thin line between a carefully curated image and the reality that exists behind the spotlight.
And a new twist in a high-profile lawsuit accuses rapper Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000 alongside Sean Diddy Combs. The lawsuit, originally filed in October, was refiled today to include Jay-Z as a defendant. The anonymous accuser claims the assault occurred at an MTV Video Music Awards after-party. Jay-Z has denied the allegations in a statement on Roc Nation's Instagram, calling the accusations heinous and urging a criminal complaint be filed instead of a civil one. He also criticized the attorney behind the lawsuit, Tony Busby, accusing him of exploiting the case.
A recent legal filing has reignited headlines after Jay-Z was added to a lawsuit originally filed in October, tied to allegations connected to an MTV Video Music Awards after-party dating back to 2000. Jay-Z has firmly denied the claims, calling them false and arguing that any legitimate accusations should be handled through proper criminal investigations, not civil court filings. He also criticized the attorney behind the case, accusing them of exploiting the situation for personal gain. The development has reopened wider conversations about high-profile legal battles in entertainment, underscoring the intense scrutiny and reputational stakes public figures face whenever serious allegations resurface.
That if you throw little and you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them,
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way. Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up.
I don't got that in my past. I'm not.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
Like,
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better, for her to remember, buddy.
I didn't give her a drink so she forget what the happened.
What the is going on here, bro?
Yes, I took the drinks. I gave me the drug to perform,
so she could remember and possibly love me for that.
Did it work?
What the yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit. shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. Well, I don't know why it's so hard for people
So
just
for
to
people to
acknowledge
feel
weird
like
shit is
you
weird.
would have something or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too. This is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what does that mean?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right. And when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip hop culture could think that everybody in hip hop culture
While
is.
much of the industry chooses silence, 50 Cent has never been one to bite his tongue. On a recent episode of the Flagrant podcast, he called out what he sees as a culture of secrecy and behind-the-scenes influence in the music business, suggesting that many stay quiet simply to protect their own image. His blunt comments reignited the long-standing tension with Jay-Z, pulling back the curtain on the power plays, quiet alliances, and unspoken rivalries that have shaped hip-hop's conversation for years.
Look, Jay-Z and them was putting it together. So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No.
Okay.
I don't think. I think that they were saying the NFL had some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue? You see what I'm saying? Like, and I with M, because like with Nori he had communication. He said, yeah, I talked to the big homie. He was saying to Jay, he was telling me, you know, the white boy wouldn't do the truth without fit, right? And I'm like, that's when I start saying crazy stuff, because I look and I go, oh, that's your big homie, right? And so he imaged himself after a gay painter. The big homie want to look like a gay painter.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about Basquiat. He wants to look like a gay painter.
Oh my God, I think I know where we're going with
So
this.
now look, what I'm saying to you is, look, when you start looking at, that's not mine, that's theirs, they Harper, right? But when you look at, M is looking at the entire legacy.
50 Cent didn't hold back on Big Boy TV, unleashing his trademark humor and unfiltered commentary straight at Jay-Z. He mocked Jay-Z's recent style choices, comparing them to passing artistic trends, while making it clear he's never been one to dance around the truth. In an industry where most people move cautiously, 50 operates without filters or hesitation. If he's got something to say, he says it, no matter who's watching.
If you haven't seen it, which I hadn't seen it until this morning when I saw this headline, Kim found it for me. Let's watch this clip quickly.
Crazy
Let's
that you
watch
haven't
Tyra
seen
pushing to get this out of Rihanna, and when it does, man, it made me feel very, very uncomfortable.
Audition. Yes. But before I met him, I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
And you had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Fun to Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yes, he said, we don't sing songs here, we sing artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, I'm very interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he did it one more.
I did a lot of homework on you, this lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing.
Yeah.
The audience is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if Tyra was trying to get that on the record, but my God, what Jaguar? He threatened her. This is her own words coming out of her mouth, and she was a kid at that time, correct?
15-year-old girl who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew in. I was there the day she got signed.
And
beautiful.
When I met her that day, I knew she was a star. Like, just her look, the way she walked into a room and her confidence, and she performed in my office.
And she was what, 17 years old at that
She
point?
was 16.
16, and she has the confidence of it. She's
Yeah.
like an old soul in a
Yeah,
sense, right?
absolutely.
So she walks in your office, and what? She just belts out a tune.
Belts out of tune. She performs, and I tell her, there's no way out of this office. I signed
She
to that.
openly shared her experiences in the music industry, including her time working around Jay-Z, describing him as a calculated and commanding force whose influence few are willing to challenge. According to her account, His presence alone could shift rooms, decisions, and alliances. Her perspective adds a powerful layer to the ongoing conversation about power, strategy, and hierarchy in hip-hop, revealing how behind-the-scenes dynamics don't just shape careers, but also determine who rises, who aligns, and who stays silent.
We were speaking about just the statement.
Right.
The statement, you were saying you felt like that was calculated.
That was, that the statement is something from, you can tell it was written by a lawyer. Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, like, you're going to find out, like how I'll handle this. Like, and that's an attorney want to be combative with another attorney. That's not like your publicist wouldn't say those things.
This is on your
put that up.
This is on 50? It says I don't know what's going on, but are we still going to have the Super Bowl? I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah, I'm asking for Kendrick. You know, I'm just trying to figure out if we're still doing everything the way. Because look, they will fall back, but they the NFL, they won't necessarily be associated to that.
Right. Why do you not insert yourself, but you're on top of every topic, right?
Yeah. I'm just watching. I'm participating. I'm being part of culture. I'm just telling my opinion.
Right.
Look,
because you're part of the culture.
Like I can't say anything now. I'm out of it. I'm like I'm going to Dre's studio and just sit with Dre.
Right.
And then
50 Cent has repeatedly highlighted the tight connection between Jay-Z and Diddy, framing them as two heavyweight forces operating in the same elite orbit, yet with completely different playbooks. According to 50, Jay-Z moves with quiet precision, calculating every step behind the scenes, while Diddy commands attention through bold, visible power moves. That contrast exposes how influence at the top of the industry isn't one size fits all, but wielded in dramatically different ways, shaping perception, control, and dominance across hip-hop's highest levels.